Ladies and gentlemen, the IndyCar silly season that just won't give up. It just keeps giving. The season ended August 31st, 2025, and the date today is, I have to look on my iPad, September 3rd, 2025. It's just the silly season that doesn't stop. I went to the 2014 Indy 500, hooked to the sport ever since, followed it like a madman ever since. I cannot think of a silly season that has been this crazy ever since I've been a fan, and this including IndyCar and Formula One. I think this tops the Oscar Piastri infamous tweet. So if you don't know what I'm referring to, today Colton Herta has announced that he's going to be joining Cadillac as the 2026 F1 test and reserve driver. And for those of you guys that might be like, wait, I thought the rumor was Colton was going to Formula 2. Well, let's just pump the brakes on that. That's not been confirmed yet, but we do believe that he will be in Formula 2 for 2026 full-time with Prema, and we believe that he's going to be running Formula 2 races. Marshall Pruitt has reported that he'll be running Formula 2 races. We don't know with what team, but we believe he'll be running Formula 2 races with some team before the year's over. He was supposed to run Petit Le Mans, but had to turn down those deals because he had other obligations that weekend. Is that Formula 1 obligations? Is he getting a seat fit? Is he doing stuff with that team? Or is he running F2? I think he's running F2. I think there's no secret Dan Towers is going to get him in Formula 2 as soon as possible. Even though this year might be a back marker, he might finish in the back. That's okay. But I think 2026, Colton Herta will be the Formula 2 champion. And I think if you're Valtteri Bottas or Sergio Perez, I'm looking over my shoulder because I know for 2027 or for 2028, one of us is getting sacked. I think if Colton goes and walks F2 in 2026, whoever performs worse between Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez will get their contract ripped into pieces. That's just personally what I think. So, Colton Herta going to Formula 1. He's going to Formula 1. I know I was talking to my dad earlier today. I think you could see Colton Herta run a one-off at Indy this year. I don't think so. I think if it was just Formula 2, I think maybe. But since he has his F1 test and reserve role, he's going to be in Montreal, Canada, and not Indianapolis during the time of the Indianapolis 500. Colton Herta is going to be a Formula 1 driver one day. Even if it goes bad, he's going to be in Formula 1. Dan Towers wants him in Formula 1. He is going to be in Formula 1, and there's really no question about it. Colton Herta is now focused on Formula 1 and not IndyCar. You will not see him run an IndyCar race for the next minimum 2 years, maximum 12 years. Who really knows? He's 25 years old. He could race 15 years in F1. If we're being honest, he could have 15 years in him. So, just who knows? We could maybe never see Colton Herta again in an IndyCar. And that's a possibility we need to embrace. And it's quite sad for me because when I'm at the track doing interviews, Colton Herta always stops for me. Every time I see him, hey Colton, can I have an interview? Has the biggest smile on his face as I'm giving him the interview, has the biggest smile on my face, and gives me the most real answer possible. He's just a genuinely nice person and guy. But you got to take Formula 1 opportunities. As a guy, I'm IndyCar first. IndyCar this, IndyCar that, IndyCar this. I love IndyCar. But I can't deny it. If you get a Formula 1 opportunity, you probably have to take it. It's like what he said. His dream is to reach Formula 1. He semi-reached it. He's not reached it yet. So he took his best opportunity he's ever had at Formula 1, and he went with it. And can you blame the guy? Honestly, no. You cannot blame the guy. It's just sad for IndyCar. And IndyCar is losing probably a future Indy 500 winner, a future champion. IndyCar lost a lot today losing Colton Herta, and it's sad. He's a fan favorite. Probably the most famous and likable American driver on the grid, for sure. I want to see Kyle Kirkwood really take up this role next year that Colton Herta leaves. I want him to be this funny, young, American, flashy guy. Or maybe David Malukas takes this role. I don't know. But someone needs to take the role that Colton Herta has left. Because, let's face it, we have not seen an American team with a high American driver potentially going to be driving for them in F1 ever. Quite frankly, ever. So this is huge for how much F1 is growing in America right now. This is huge. This is absolutely huge news, quite frankly, and I'm all for it. I just wish it didn't mean he was leaving IndyCar, but it is what it is. IndyCar lost a real one today. Formula 1, I hope he's in F1 in 27 or 28. hopefully 27. Hopefully he just goes into F2 and walk. Hopefully he does a little F2 this year, goes to the championship next year with Prema, walks the championship, and is in Formula 1 in 2027, and hopefully he does well. Because ultimately, Colton Herta goes over there and does bad. I think it hurts the integrity of IndyCar drivers, and IndyCar drivers are right there with F1 drivers. It's just like this, I mean, you can make the argument IndyCar's better, you can make the argument F1's better. They're close. There's not a tenth in it, quite frankly, and they're both just tremendous, tremendous drivers. So if he goes over there and does bad, that's going to not be good for the sport. But I think Colton Herta is perfect for F1. He's laid back, he's calm, he's cool, he's collective. We haven't seen him throw a car on the wall, when he goes from P1 to P2 at a dominant car. When I think back in Long Beach, I think in 22 or 23, Detroit a few years ago. Really, Colton Herta hasn't done that in a while. I think he's matured a lot, and I think he's ready for F1, and I think the time to do it was now, and he went. So, it is what it is. But when you talk about who's replacing Colton Herta at Andretti in the number 26, and it is none other than Will Power. So, Will Power, after 17 years with Penske, is going to have a new home for the first time since 2009. Will Power will be racing at Andretti Autosports in the number 26. I assume Gamebridge. Does Kyle Kirkwood take the Gamebridge car next year? Maybe that's what happens. I don't know if it's going to be the Gamebridge car, but he'll be in the number 26 Andretti car next year. And look out on the street circuits. That's all I got to say. Are Andretti going to make the rest of the field look silly? They might. I'm just saying they might. They for real might. Will Power could easily go into St. Pete, take the pole. Then we believe Phoenix is the second round, and then we think Arlington is third. So could you see Will Power in the first 3 weekends take 2 poles? Yes. Could you see him take 2 wins? Yes. Andretti's the dominant car on street circuits, and Will Power's a stud on road and street circuits. So all I got to say is look out for Will Power, but this could also go as terribly south as Marcus Ericsson's move to Andretti, quite frankly. I could see this falling apart into pieces, and I could see him winning the championship. Quite frankly, I could see Will Power finishing 20th in the championship next year, and I could see him winning the championship. I really do think there's anywhere between... I mean, seriously, he could finish... I don't mean to sound like a duh here when I say this, but he could finish any position in the championship next year. Like, seriously, I could see him being dead last, and I could see him having an Alex Palou type season. It's just, how much is Will Power going to give? We believe it's a 3-year contract. He wanted to race 3 more years in IndyCar. I doubt it. There's no way it's a 1-year deal because we believe Penske offered him a 1-year deal and he turned it down for more stability and change. So I bet this is a 3-year contract. When this contract is over in 2028, he'll retire. He'll have 26, 27, 28 with Andretti, and I think he'll be done. So, Will Power to Andretti. We knew it was coming. It just hurts that it's Colton Herta, man. It just hurts that it's Colton Herta. That's really all I have to say about it. It just hurts that it's Herta. But Will Power, we'll see, man. Hopefully everything works out for Will Power. That's really all I have to say. I mean, Canada race got moved. I mean, I'm not even going to cover that. I mean, when the schedule comes out, I'll make like a 30-minute video breaking down each schedule, each race, and what I think of it. So I'm not even going to talk about the schedule until the whole schedule's released. I think that's just silly to talk about one race. So, yeah. Will Power's at Andretti, and Colton Herta is Cadillac's test and reserve driver, and very likely a Prema F2 driver for 2026. But the Prema F2 has not been announced, and it could be with another T. It could be HRT. It could be, quite frankly, it could be any team. But Marshall Pruitt's reporting that he'll be in F2 before this year's over, which likely means he'll be in F2 for the 2026 season. Marshall Pruitt is reporting that too. I was stunned today that the F2 wasn't announced, but I would assume they're going to let this die down. Give it 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, and Colton Herta will be racing in F2 by the end of the year and have a full-time ride in F2 for next year. That's all I got to say. Colton Herta will be announced in F2 very soon. Will Power can make everyone look silly potentially. And with that being said, see ya.